Okay, we're on Torah Vav paragraph Bet. Okay, we said yesterday, we talked about lefties. Lefties in the room now. Cheskel, you're not a lefty, right?
I was born a lefty.
You were born a lefty?
Yeah, my grandmother, they tied my hand.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, that happened to my dad too.
My grandfather also
Born
happened
in
to
the
him.
50s, man.
My grandfather also, they taught, his handwriting was so bad because he was really a lefty, but then they made him write with his right hand.
Yeah, you know, my dad, he's baseball lefty, he does everything lefty except for writing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
he always slapped his hand in school.
That's crazy. So a right hand is actualization, and a left hand is potential. So someone born as a lefty, he has both powers in his potential. So you can't. It's hard to actualize. That's the idea of what it means spiritually.
Wow, that seems to be true. I have a son that's left-handed.
Still waiting for him to. What?
That describes.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you say?
I was going to say a couple of things. The hand that you use is controlled by the opposite side of the brain.
Oh yeah, it's true.
So when you're born left-handed, most people who are like that are right-handed, but they're ambidextrous. There are certain things that I do when I'm left-handed.
Okay. I hear you. Yeah. Okay.
Most artists are left-handed.
Why? Because the right part of the brain does what again? What does the right part of the brain do? Creative side. But let's say if you're a righty and you play guitar, you're still using your left hand for the actual hard part, which is the fingers. But the strumming, you have to do the coordination of the two to be good at it, But actually, it's hard. This hand is working harder than this hand most of the time, unless you're doing really fast picking and stuff like that, or string skipping stuff. But still, your left hand is working harder. Yeah, left hand is working harder.
It's much easier to do than this. This you have to really hit the strings.
No, this is easy to do. This is much
you
easier to
have 4
do.
strings for some notes, 3 strings for some notes. It's hard.
Not nearly as hard as clawing the fretboard, man.
I wonder,
I don't know.
No,
I feel strumming is you have to have
strumming is
hand. You have to have
easy.
strong hand.
You play the guitar?
No, you don't have to have strung hand. If you take up a pick, you don't have to strung hand. Strumming is like that. Yeah. So.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Bar chords also, bro. You gotta do the claw.
Wait, guys. What do you say?
In the last century, 47% of our whole presidents were left-handed.
Oh yeah.
Presidents, 47% of presidents. Yeah.
47% of the presidents are left-handed.
Yeah.
I wonder what that means.
I thought it's generally throughout the world it's about 6%. 6%.
No, it's all potential. It's all potential. It's all, no actualization. Okay. Now we're gonna see why. Okay, all these things. Okay, so a lefty cannot bring things out to actualization. He stays in potential mode. That's the idea of what it's saying spiritually. I mean, no offense to all lefties in here. But he can't bring it out in actualization. It stays in potential, okay? Because the left is the potential. Now, we're on bet.
Starting this year, guys.
Ki kodem motziin mikoch el hapol. Before you take something from potential to actual, as I koch v'apol niksharim biyachad ve'in hefish b'neim. The potential and the actualization are united together. There's no difference between them. Yes.
I just saw something. We talk about Shammai, because yesterday's was Rosh, according to the base Shammai. Rosh Hashanah,
Yeah, potential.
Potential and action.
Exactly.
Potential and
that's exactly.
Is it possible that Shammai was a left-hander?
It probably could be. It could be. Well, it says, wasn't it say it was a nagar? He was like a construction kind of guy.
Yeah, he was running building. He had a measuring stick. And
He
was very.
Could be if you could find somewhere in Shas it says something like that. I don't know. Could be, yeah. Also, Chanukah kind of says do 8 first because you talk about the potential first, right?
Yeah.
And they have potential for 8.
Like with the way he says
But basically, in the Shorish, it's 1. Okay, but when it comes out, it comes into 2 different things. One stays potential, one actualizes. Okay, that's the halacha is like Beit Hillel right now. Okay, so now kisof maaseh b'machshava tchila dahainu k'shalom rotzeh lasot eize davar. The beginning, the end action is in the beginning of your thoughts. When a person wants to do something, for example, to build a house, tzarich lachshav tchila b'machshavto ech yeh tzir binyan beito. You have to think in your mind how you want your house to be built. Va'az kashnigba machshavto admut beito. After, when you think about the details, how to build your house, then you start building it, right? If with anything that a person wants to grow or get to the next level, he has to first plan out and like have a vision of what he actually wants. And then when he does that, he can start actualizing it, okay? Now, nimta shesof ma'aseh b'machshav tchila. So therefore, the end action is in the beginning of the thought. So before you bring it out to actualization, the end action is united with a person's thought. Okay, they're one still. Just your hands together. Like that little sculpture up there on the street.
Oh, but
the hands over there. Yeah. But over there, the hands are not touching. But no, it's after. That's when it's actualized, when they're separate from each other. Yeah. I saw someone with a bumper sticker on their car. It says "Shuki, thumbs down." It says, "Enough with all the key cars. We want parking spaces." It's funny. I was like, "Wow!" I couldn't believe I was like seeing it.
Everybody's noticed the key cars being done 2-3 times. Everybody's like
a lot of work on key cars. Yeah. So, anyways, so that's actualization. Yeah. So in hefresh v'hevdel b'nei klal. So when they're in a person's thought, there's no differentiation between the two. So you have to see to bring something out from potential to actual. Then the koch and the pole become separate from each other. Okay? The koch is actually doing it, and the pole is in your thought of what you want it to do. So they separate. And then there's a difference between the beginning of thought, which is the koach, potential, and the action at the end, which is the actualization. And this is the bechina of Aleph. Ki Aleph hu shtei yudin uvav ba'emtza. Aleph is made up of 2 yuds and a vav in the middle. Shu bechinat patach, which is a concept of a patach. The vav is the patach, yeah. Velu shtei yudin shem bechinat yud.
Why is it patach?
It's the same shape as a patach, just like one line.
What are the
Yeah.
yuds? What are the yuds?
We're gonna see now the yuds. We're gonna see what the yuds are. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now, Elu Shnei Yudin and Bechinat Yud Sheberosh Yud Shebesof. The Yud at the top and the Yud at the end, which is Koach and Poel. Okay, so therefore, Bechinat Yud Shel Shema Etzim, the Yud of the Shema Etzim, which is Shem Havaya Baruch Hu, is the Yud in the head, which is the Machshava Tchila in the Koach. And the Yud, the second Yud is the Yud of the Kinui, which is Shem Adni, which is the Yud in the end, which is the Sof Maaseh, which is the Poel. So at the beginning, these 2 yuds are united together, and there's no difference between them. Afterwards, when you take it from koch to pol, they open up and separate from each other. And this is the vav that's in the aleph, which is the patach. This that it gets opened up and separate these 2 yuds, which is our koch and poel. Okay. Now, just a side note, we have over here. In the Sfarim, it talks about the different spheres connected to the different nakudas, the tamim, okay? Nakudas, sorry. So kamatz is keter, patach is chochma, okay? And then bina, etc., etc. Doesn't say it here, but it just says it in different places. So it says basically the beginning of Ishtalshlu starts in chochma, specifically the chitzonius of chochma is the beginning of the Hishtalshlus. So therefore the Patach represents the Chokhmah, which is the opening, which creates the Hishtalshlus, and the Hishtalshlus is the actualization. Everything before that is still potential. Okay, so in order to create something, you have to take something from the potential state and draw it down and actualize it. And that's through the Patach, which is the Vav, which represents Chokhmah, the beginning of the Hishtalshlus. Okay, the Vav Hazot, B'toch Aleph, is the Vav Otiot Sheesh Ben Shnei Hayurin Shel Shnei Hashemot. Okay, like it says over here. So basically, you take Yud K Vav K and you take Adni, and you like overlap them amongst each other. And then you get Yud Aleph Kuf. Okay, Kuf means hey, obviously. Dalid Vav Nun Kuf, and then Yud. Okay, so therefore it starts with the Yud, ends with the Yud, and the Vav is. You have 6 letters between the 2 aleph. Between the 2 yuds. Okay, so that's the vav in between. Yesh shalosh otiyot etzel yud shel shem etzem. You have 3 letters by the yud in the shem etzem.
When it's cooked, it's really heavy.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, exactly.
Is that a whiteboard? I can draw this out.
It's written there. It's written.
You're saying when you write out the whole yud, you write out the whole k.
No, they write kuf instead of hey, because if you wrote hey, then it's a shem.
No, but you're saying that when you write out the whole, like
Yud K Vav K overlapped with the adni in between it, and then it starts with yud, ends with yud, and then so you have 6 letters in between, which is the vav.
You're saying if you write out the letters completely, like yud vav.
Yeah, yud. No, it's basically you have yud, and then you have.
Not the letters, you're just writing the letter.
Yeah, but
There's yud vav up there.
so now let's say you take the name adni, and you let's say after the yud you start the aleph for the second name, and then the hey, and then after the hey you start the second letter of adni, which is dalid. You understand? You put it in between the letters.
And we have a Sephardi sitter.
Look over here.
In a Sephardi city, yeah.
Look,
I
this.
understand actually.
This, see?
Sephardi city.
Yud K Vav K, and you have the
Yeah.
aleph.
So
Daled.
what are you saying then? What does that mean?
So basically, you start with the yud, it ends with the yud, which are 2 yuds on the aleph, and then you have the vav 6. You have 6 letters in between.
Okay.
That's basically what it's saying. Okay.
I got it. It's very, very slow.
Look at that. Oh, there you go. Chochma. Yeah, it's important. It's important to know that.
That's a comment, no?
Yeah, that's the chochma. The patach, no? Patach.
And then the
Patach, yeah. Patach.
That's a patach.
Yeah, the kamat is.
Kamat is keter.
Yeah, kamat is keter.
Patach is chochma.
Yeah, they don't have keter here because they have usually tiferet.
What are you talking about?
Oh, keter. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
You mean on the 4-letter name?
Yeah.
Aleph itself. It takes 2 years and then the
6 letters.
6 letters.
You show me after.
Adoni.
No, you have Yud K Vav K and Adni intertwined they're in each other. You have 4 letters, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you also have Adni. It's go like that.
8 letters.
No, but there's 1 at the beginning, 1 at the end, then you have 6 in between.
Oh.
The Yud and Yud, and then you have these 6 in between that are the Vav. Okay. Yeah, that's good, eh? Yeah.
Oh, I got it.
With the hand, see, the potential and the actual. Yeah. Okay, so now. יש 3 אותיות אצל היוד של שם העצם, שהוא בחינת תחילת המחשבה, וכן יש 3 אותיות אצל יוד של שם הקינו, שהוא בחינת סוף מעשה. כי בכל דבר שבעולם יש 3 בחינות. There's 3 letters in yud, so I guess the way you spell yud is yud, vav, dalet, okay? So just like at the beginning you have yud, vav, dalet, you also have yud, vav, dalet at the end, so there's 3 and 3, which represents 3 madregas in each thing. Because everything in the world, you have 3 levels, which are makom, tzir, and zman. Makom is the place, tzir is the form, and zman is the time. Which is like olam, shana, nefesh, lechora.
Yud is 20, spelled out, right? Yud vav dalet, and yud says 20 plus 20 is 40. 40 is completion. So you have 3 madregas, which complete.
3 what?
No, I'm just saying, like
Maybe,
20,
It's 40 or something?
20, seeing clearly, right? 20 vision.
Who says that?
I don't know, that's what they say. 20.
What did you just say? What is those 3 levels?
So to lechora, it's tzir, zman, it's makom, tzir, zman, place, form, and time, which is the same thing as olam, shana, and nefesh, lechora, because the nefesh is the tzir.
But what is those 3 things?
Everything in the world has those 3 things. 3 levels of existence. There's nothing outside of the makom. Place, tzir is formation, and zman is time. You can't have anything in this world
Place,
outside
time,
of
and what? In English, place, time.
and form. You can't have something outside of those 3 things in this world. Okay, which are the 3 letters of
Is
Yud?
that rather than Olam Shana Nefesh?
It's a good question. It's a good question. Sometimes he takes it from other farm that describe it in this way. So it could be it's taken like when he says that he comes with Olam Shafel, Olam Malachim. He talks 3 different worlds, 1 point in 1 Torah. It's taken from I think one of those farm in Nigla. They write it like that. So it could be it's from
If you
there.
get 3 forms together, then you really have the present. Akshav, like you don't
3 things together, yeah.
Is
the-
place,
yeah.
time, and form is now. Right?
Well, you can have past things too.
Right.
Wait, Tzir corresponds to Nefesh?
What is it? Seer?
Yeah.
Well, that's what it is. Yeah, it's because you're.
Zaman corresponds to Shana, right?
Yeah.
So that means Tzir corresponds to Nefesh.
Yeah. I think what I saw one time in.
Maybe it's a more generalized level. It's a higher level. more.
Oh yeah, higher than it.
Makom is higher than Olam. Maybe it's more generalized.
Could be. It could be. Yeah, it could be. That's what it is. Yeah. Could be. It's more the general aspects. Yeah. When a person wants to build a house, you have to think, where should I build the house? Right? You have to know that. When should I build it? Is it tzir or nivneh? In what form should the house be? So to everything in the world. So too in the end of a person's actions. When you actually do the thing, you have these three things, which is makom, tzir, and zman. And these are the three letters in Yud Vav Dalet. In the Rosh is the beginning of the machshava, and you have the three letters in the end, which is the end of the action, which represent these two things together is the Vav between the two Yuds. The 3 and 3. The Vav is 6, okay? And these are, okay, so now, these two Yuds, which are the potential, the 3 levels in potential and 3 levels in the actualization, represent the 2 spirits of each person, and specifically the tzaddik that has a spirit above and a spirit below, okay? Okay, so the higher, what it's saying is the higher spirit is the koach, and the lower spirit is the poel. At the beginning, they're united together, and afterwards they open up and separate from each other. That means when your soul goes into a body, then they separate because now you're in an actualized form. Because it says basically everything in the spiritual world is all in potential, and the way to actualize anything is only when your soul comes into your body, and then the ruchos separate and they become 2, and then you have the ability to actualize in your body. Okay. These 2 spirits, they're made through the sweetening of the anger of Hashem. Hashem has, so to speak, something called charon af, fiery nostrils, okay? Anger, so to speak. Ve'etzel b'nei adam, and you have them amongst people. V'kesheyesh charon af, when there is a charon af, chas v'shalom, b'chinat ashan, it's the concept of ashan, which is smoke, okay? Olam shana nefesh, okay? Shiotze minechirav, that goes out of the nose, the nostrils. As it says, Allah ashan ba'po. Okay, you see, olam shana nefesh is the smoke, which is zman tzir makom, okay? Olam shana nefesh, okay? Zeh ha'ashan mazik leparnasa. This smoke damages a person's. So makom is olam, zman is shana, and nefesh is tzir. Chora, they line up.
So why doesn't you just?
But it's a different
It's a
order.
good question. Yeah, it's a good question. Why I didn't say it. Yeah, it's you have to be dayak on the inyanim and see really what there's probably a deeper kavana there that you're gonna be me'ayin on to see why he says it in that order and why he says those words. Makom tzir and zman specifically. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know the answer right now to that. What's a fun?
But you get when you do that, I mean,
What?
It's like what is the
The what?
format that we just talked about.
Yeah. What about it?
I never got that.
That what?
Huh?
What'd you say?
Well, you just said at the beginning the 2 hands together interspersed.
Yeah.
So you have the right and the left.
Yeah.
With the 4 letters from one of the names of God, with the 4 letters of the other name.
Yeah, exactly.
Interspersed like that. That's a hamza.
Oh, chamsa, yeah. That's
Oh,
true.
really?
That's true.
A
Yeah.
2-fingered one, not a 1-fingered one.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
It has to be a double thumb. Or else
They gotta change them now. Okay, yes. So the ashan, so there's an anger of Hashem. So it says basically, these spirits are created through the sweetening of Hashem's anger, and the anger is the ashan, and the ashan damages the parnasa.
And when you sweeten it, you get good
We sweeten it. You draw down good parnasa, and you also draw down the 2 souls. Let's see what actually he means by this. Why is the 2 ruchot? The 2 ruchot is created by sweetening the charon af. Okay, so basically, what does it mean the 2 ruchot? Really, they're one. Okay, when they're in the shorish, they're one thing. Okay, now you want to separate it in order to create actualization. Okay, Okay, we'll see now. Okay, what's funny?
This is for any things in our life.
What is it? You gotta, you can't.
This
You
is
gotta
for
get. You gotta get rid of the
This
ashram.
is for anything that I. This is for anything that I want to do in life. Anything that
Anything
I
it's a
build,
potential. Yeah, you gotta actually.
This is the process.
This is formula. Yeah, so.
Actualizing potential.
So the ashan damages the parnasa. Shal yadam motzim mikol kapol. That through this you're able to bring from actual to potential. Ki al yadei shesh to parnasa. If a person has parnasa ve'en nitzrach lebrios, he doesn't need people. Zochir le'emes. He can come to emes.
What? Say the lesson.
If someone has parnasa and he doesn't need people,
That's true.
then he comes to emes. Why? We're gonna
It's
see
free.
why.
It's
If you need from other, this is what we're talking about now, guys. That's why we learn this, because we want to be able to learn in Kollel full time and not have to worry about anything else.
Don't have to worry about people and money here and there.
Yeah, that's all sketch.
Fixing a car 4 times a year, running to the mechanic.
Yeah,
It's okay if you have the money to do it.
Yeah.
But if you have to ask somebody else for money.
I mean, I don't think Elon Musk ever worries about fixing anything.
Who?
Elon Musk.
Oh, Elon.
He's
Just to fix his head.
Yeah, we don't discuss him so much.
Yeah.
He who shall not be named.
Yeah.
He's more likely to be Batman. I'm pretty sure Jeff Bezos is more likely
Here's the good line. Here's the good
Those
line.
emails you're getting.
Okay, so now, if someone doesn't need, so if someone has the parnasa and he doesn't need to nitzrach lebrios, he doesn't feel the need for other people, then he can come to emes, which is the world to come. We're going to explain all these things in a little bit. It says, Ashrei she'el Yaakov be'ezro shivra al Hashem elokav. Praiseworthy is the one who the God of Jacob is the one who helps him, and he's relying on Hashem, his God. Sha'al yedei zeh, through this, motziim mikol chalapol, we will be able to take from potential to actual, as we will explain. Okay, so it applies to all parts of life that you feel like you can't actualize. Okay, that's why we started the whole shir yesterday with how meet of emes and how damaging lies are. Okay, because this is the secret formula of bringing something into actualization, is getting rid of all forms of sheker. Okay? Meaning, even by accident, the fact that you're not honest to what you're saying and how you're saying it, and you think that, oh, I'm saying this thing, everyone probably believes me, look, it's so true, but really inside, in a deep level of yourself, you know it's a bunch of BS, basically. But you're lying to yourself so strong that you don't even know that you're lying to yourself. You don't even know you're lying to yourself. It's such a lie. And then when you just look at yourself honestly, you're like, I'm lying to myself. I'm living in sheker. And that's why nothing's actualizing. Okay, so now we're going to see how to do it. So the ashan damages your eyes, as it says in the pasuk, Ki ashan le'enayim, like smoke to the eyes, which is the parnasa, which is einei chol alecha saber. The eyes will all look to you. So therefore the smoke damages the parnasa. Ki kas mazik la parnasa. Anger damages parnasa, as it's brought down in another place. Shekas mafsid ashirut. That anger could make your wealth diminish. Okay.
What's Kas Russia Tavis for?
You tell me.
How's that?
Why you ask that?
I was just thinking.
Oh, because 3 letters, is it?
Yeah. Maybe that's
I
also.
don't know. That's Arya. You know.
Boy, I've seen it.
I don't know. Rosh Tevos Kas. I don't know.
Rosh Tuvia what?
Of Kas.
Kas.
Kaf ayin something. Think about it. Write it down for sure. So you have to break and sweeten the anger. You have to sweeten the anger and to refine it. Take the good from the bad. Until you get to a spirit out of it. Meaning the tikkun of ashan is that it's a ruach, and the ashana is the mix of good and bad. And when you mavar that thing, then you get the ruach, which is ruach aviri, the spirit in the air. Okay, so now my understanding of it, we're going to see soon, is I just wanted to point out something. When a person's living in a form of sheker, it causes like a charan af from above, and that charan af causes a mix of good and bad that channels down to that person. That mix of good and bad that channels down to the person is making all the pathways of the shefa block up because the charan af, and it causes Shem to have a kas because Hashem is emes, he doesn't want sheker. Okay, So therefore, what does a person do if he's living in Sheker? He has to do the birur. He has to look at the Ashan, which is his pathway to Hashem, and see that you have some good, there's also some bad, and you have to mevar what's the good and what's the bad. And when you do that, you all of a sudden get now the ruach. And we said the ruach, so therefore the hamtaka of the Ashan is the ruach, which is the ruach de la'ela, which is your connection to Olam Haba, because it's your soul that's in Olam Haba. And through doing that, you're able to draw that aspect into this world through emes, through your dibur, we're going to see soon. And then you're able to actualize things straight from Olam Haba into the world now. Okay, that's the Indian.
Haven't you got the kedusha aspect of Rishon when it's a korban, when you smoke?
Yeah. But I mean, in this context, he's saying that in this context is a you got to do a birur in this context.
What if you turn the kas against the sheker?
Yeah, but also
really
even if you're saying something that's true, but that statement is based off a belief that you have about yourself that's actually your form of you lying to yourself, then it's sheker also. Right. Yeah. What do you say?
If you turn the kas against the sheker, you get really angry at the sheker.
Yeah. At the rugas and the ras, there's anything like that. But we're gonna see how to do the birur here. Okay, so now, Zeh haruach, this spirit, which is shehu amtakat hashan shel charaf, which is swinging the smoke of the anger, is Mashiach. How do you know? Eicha. It says like this: Ruach apenu Mashiach Hashem. The spirit of the nostrils is Mashiach Hashem.
The spirit of the nostrils?
Spirit of the nose. Also, he's going to smell stuff. Smelling his emes. It wasn't affected by the sin. Unless you sniff stuff. And you put a Yetzer Hara in your nose. Your nose doesn't have a Yetzer Hara. Okay, so therefore, he used it to smell, which he sees the emes to the smell. Because it wasn't out of all the senses, the nose wasn't blemished by the sin of the tree of knowledge.
But there's this room to smell the things.
Like what?
Interesting.
Oh yeah, that's true. Pure for that. Yeah,
It's not, but I mean, you don't have a
Yetzer Hara. You don't have a Yetzer Hara to smell.
You don't have a Yetzer Hara to smell it. You have a Yetzer Hara to eat it or to do something with it.
Making cupcakes.
The smell happens to trick you into activating another taiva you have.
The smell itself is not a taiva.
Same thing with the eyes.
No, the eyes. It says about the eyes. Out of all the taivas you have, the eyes are the biggest taiva. Seeing something itself.
To look at
is
something
a huge
itself
taiva.
is a taiva.
And the Rebbe Rashab says the Rebbe
know, maybe.
no one has desire to smell. In and of
course
itself.
you do. Yeah, of course
In and of itself, I want to smell.
Sure you do. Flowers.
You don't say I want to smell.
Why
That's
would
your soul. That's your soul getting enough from it.
You could,
The Gemara says the only thing that your soul gets enough from is smelling. Smelling is a soulful hana'ah that could cause a physical hana'ah, but in and of itself it's a soulful hana'ah that doesn't have. It says eyes are the most pleasurable of all your senses are the eyes. So then the Rebbe Shab discusses it. He says basically, what if you look at something and you say, I have no. It says it in the Kuntras Avoda of Rebbe Shab. He says in chapter 2 there. He says if you look at something and you don't have pleasure from looking at it, so you're saying it didn't affect me, I'm okay. He says no, it affects you even worse because it reaches a part in your soul that's a tainug bilti morgash. A pleasure that's not even felt by you, so it affects you a deeper way. So his eyes are the worst. You have to be very careful of your eyes.
Makes sense, especially during Shovavim.
Especially during Shovavim, yeah.
That's why that rabbi in the Gemara snapped his eyes out.
That's a good story, yeah.
Yeah, it's really positive.
Gamzu, wasn't it Gamzu?
Beautiful story. I don't know.
Gamzu did that.
Maybe it's another story.
Listen, different extremes in the world.
Okay, Nicole's man. We don't have time is of the essence here, guys.
Yeah.
So when this ruach, as long as this ruach doesn't go to your hands, and it's still in a place before it is in its existence, the main existence is in your hands. They are the things you do stuff with, your hands, okay? Which over there, over there is the main revelation of the Ruach, as it says, Be'adecha afkir ruchi. In my hands I have placed the Spirit, B'chinat asher bi'ado nefesh kol chai, v'ruach kol basar ish. Achar kach keshenit galeh ruach b'chinat yadayim. When the Spirit is revealed in your hands, Adayin shtei ruchot anal. You still have both of these ruchot in your hands. Okay. Shem b'chinat koch v'pol. They're koch and pol. B'chinat shnei adayin, the right and the left. Yeah. Shehem shneim b'yachad adayin. They're both together. Okay. Now over here he mentions right before left. And right before it says koch and pol. So you're gonna say, what's going on? Why did he switch it up?
That's it over the world.
No, because at the beginning we're saying that the right hand is actualization, left hand is no, the right hand is actually, the left hand is potential. Now he's saying potential and actual, which are it makes sense. No, it's the right and the left. So that seemingly saying that the right is potential. So what does that mean? He's trying to say another point.
So right is given.
No, it's not that. Right is actualization, left is potential. But now he's saying actual potential, right and left. But now he's saying the right is actual is potential. The Indian is that when they're together, there's no difference between them. That's the Indian, okay? So hem shneim beyachad adayin, since they're together, the hands did not separate. Okay, so therefore, just to clarify what's going on here, to understand a little bit of what he's saying, that you do a birur on the charon af. And that birur reveals the ruach, and that ruach connects to the ruach d'la'ela, the higher ruach, and that ruach now could be revealed in your hands. Now, what's revealed in your hands, there's still
in an emes way.
We're going to see now how to do all this shortly, but now when you're in your hands are still in a state of unity between them. They're connected, and when they're connected, there's no difference in koch and pol yet. But at least the ruach now reached the hands. Okay, that's what we're saying, that Eliyahu Navi did everything, all the things he did through prayer, and he got double the powers of Eliyahu Navi. Elisha. Elisha got double powers of Eliyahu Navi, and he was able to do crazy miracles. He got the ruach to La'ela, and he was able to actualize it fully. We're gonna see what that means exactly. Yeah, so they're now still in the state of unity, which represents and when they open up, that's the revelation of the shtei ruchot. Ki adayin hakoach v'pol niksharim yachad, because the potential actualized are united together. Vein evdel b'neim klal, there's no difference between them at all. V'azai indikar bin yamin uswal, you cannot tell what's right, what's left. V'az adayin b'chinat kodem bria, they're still at the place of before creation. Before you bring from potential to actual, they both exist. So it's interesting. Why doesn't he say just koach? No, just koach. If it's before creation, maybe you just have koach. But he's saying no. The actualization exists in the potential because it didn't come out yet. Okay, they're united. When you bring it from koach to poel. Azayhu Gmar Habriya, it's the finishing of the creation, and then the hands open up, and then you're able to distinguish what's right, what's left, as it says in Yeshayahu, Af yadi yista'aret v'minat tifcha shamayim. Even my hand founded the earth, and my right hand opened tifcha, not the word means the heavens. Ki az yesh hefesh v'heker ben koch v'pol. Then you have a difference between koch and pol, which are the two hands, the two ruchos.
So the first yadi is referring to which hand? And then
it's actually another contradiction, seemingly, because he's saying, because in this, he says the right hand.
Yadi mostly means the right hand. Right?
No, yadi yista'aret, the land is seemingly its actualization, right? But then he says my right hand is to the heavens. So it switches it around now, right? Because we're trying to say that the right is actualization, and that means finishing the bria, which is the earth. The pasuk switches it around, okay? What's going on there as well? You could say that the only reason why he brought the pasuk was to show that there's a distinction between the two when it's actualized. But that question still remains, that you're telling me that, okay, very nice that you distinguish between the two, but the world seems like the actualization, so why is the heavens called the right if the right is the potential? If the right? You understand what I'm saying? The right represents
above,
actually.
Sometimes looking from above, looking from below. If you look from above, from below it would be the right will be the left.
That's a good question. Yeah, it's a good.
How you're looking.
But the original.
Direction,
okay.
How you're facing.
I don't know. I feel like if your right hand's up, your right hand's up.
Your right hand is up, which is your
But
actualization.
if I'm looking at you, it's
Oh
my
no, maybe
right.
it means
I mean, standing in front of you, it's my left.
maybe something happens once. Okay, basically now you're in potential state. The right and left are together. Actualization and is united with the potential. Okay, now Hashem creates the earth, which is basically the Chora means separating it, and the left would be the earth.
But maybe from his potential,
No,
it's
sorry,
always
the right
actualized.
would be the earth.
From his potential, it's always actualized. But from our potential,
But it's not. It's not always
I
actualized.
mean, that's why
we
we put it
come
like
into
this,
play.
and then
We have to
Jews put it like
actualize
this.
it.
Well, we don't do this because it became a goyish thing. But really, when he said Modani, people used to do that.
Why?
That was the way to do it.
What do you mean?
says or something crazy like
or like this.
What, put the hands together?
Yeah. The right hand should be on the left.
Oh, the right on left, like that. Well, or like this. Yeah, the Shulchan Aruch says to go like this.
Yeah,
In Shemon Esrei.
No,
But it says if the minhag is not doing it,
Cover your
don't do
thumbs
it.
also.
Thumbs inside.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Your thumbs are judgments. You put them inside.
Mm.
Like this.
One time I was with Gil Locks and I crossed my fingers together and he smacked my hands.
Don't do
He
that.
said, "Don't cross your fingers together.
Oh,
It
you
creates
can't do
deans."
that.
I never did since he told me
Can't do
that.
that, yeah.
It's true. If your soul is from Cain, you shouldn't do that.
If you're what?
If your soul is from Cain, which probably all of us are from Cain. Maybe you're not.
You're spiritual.
All of us are Cain.
No, we're in Tzfat. We're all Hevel.
No. That's not how it works at all.
Okay, we'll pause it here. We'll pause it here.
Why can't you do this?
Things didn't.